So we're here with Mark Schwarzer, best known, obviously, for keeping goal for numerous clubs, including Middlesbrough and, at the moment, Fulham, and of course Australia. Very well-known footballer, but we're not talking football today because he's an Aussie. And that means he's sports mad, and that means he will be watching the Lions and he'll be watching the Ashes. So, Mark Schwarzer, seems to me the Lions, they haven't won for a long time, but this is their best chance. Discuss.
Yeah, possibly. I think they could be. I mean, Australian rugby has been on a little bit of a transitional period for a number of years now, and it is the British Lions' best opportunity. And what I actually like about the fact that the British Lions come out to Australia, or we come here to play the British Lions, is that not only do I get to brag about when we beat you, that we've beaten the British Lions, but we've actually beaten 4 nations.
Right.
So it's kind of like, works fourfold.
Australia's so good you can actually beat all 4 countries
all 4 nations
in one go.
In one go.
Right.
So
you're sounding like Campo now.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
You know Campo's been having a pop already. It started already.
Well, it wouldn't be Campo if he wasn't having a pop at it. That's just the way he is, and it's going to be very interesting. And I think you're right. The Lions are going to have a good opportunity, but we are on home soil, and there's something special about playing against the Lions, about anyone that's remotely from the British Isles, that we love to beat. We love to beat the British Lions. We love to beat any of the teams from the British Isles, and especially
the English.
Well, it goes without saying.
Yeah.
I wanted to try and drag the rest of it in with it as well, but especially the English. And I'm sure the Wallabies were right up for it, and will give it everything.
You'd have been a teenager in '89 then, when the last came over, and if you remember, actually, ironically, it was Campo, whose errant pass led to the winning try, and the Lions won 2-1. Did you follow it?
I did watch it. I did watch as much as I could. I mean, obviously there was time differences as well, but I did watch as much as I could. Any time Australia plays, whether it's whether it is rugby, whether it's it's lawn bowls, I'll watch it.
Yeah. Okay. So prediction?
I think Australia will win. I think it'll be closer.
3 tests.
Yeah, I think it'll be 2-1.
Oh, that's very good of you. You're going to give them one, are you?
Yeah, I'll give you one.
Right.
That's maybe the last one, once we were leading 2-0.
Oh, really? So it's a dead rubber?
Yeah, it's a dead rubber anyway.
Okay, listen, O'Driscoll, I mean, there's some O'Connell, Tuilangi, Warburton, Phillips, there's some good North.
You've got a lot of foreigners in there as well.
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, that moves on to the next subject, which is the Ashes. Because you could say the same thing about some of our great English batsmen like Kevin Peterson, etc.
Well, it's I think it's England stroke South Africa, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
it
maybe.
kind of is. No, listen, I think
it's the Ashes. Come on, let's talk about the Ashes.
The Ashes are the Ashes, and it's an amazing event and amazing occasion, and it's going to be very, very tight again. Unfortunately, I've got the feeling that England have got the upper hand, and that this might win the series.
You've got the feeling England got the upper hand.
Yeah,
they've been smashing Australia for the last 5 years.
Well, not the last 5 years. I seem to remember the 5-0 whitewash that we gave you out in Australia. Well, it's not so long ago.
Yeah.
But
in the last 4 Ashes series, it's 3-1 England.
I think so.
And it could well be 4-1 England.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
But it makes up for the fact when you and I were growing up, because we're not that different in age, which shows how old you are.
Yes.
It was all Australia.
It was. I mean, that team was unbelievable. The McGraths, the Warnes, Ponting.
The War Brothers.
Unbelievable.
Gilchrist, Hayden.
Yeah, it was unbelievable the squad of players that they had, and it probably went on for a good 15 years or so, 10 to 15 years.
Felt like 50.
Yeah, exactly. Felt like 50. Exactly. We rubbed it in and made it like feel like it was 50.
Did you ever go and see any cricket back home?
I did. Yeah, I watched actually not a lot back home, but I watched when I was living in North Yorkshire. I watched one of the Ashes at Headingley.
Oh, okay.
One of the days of cricket, and it was it was a great opportunity to go and watch it. And unfortunately, on each occasion when it's been down here in London or in England, I haven't been able to go because it's sort of around the time of pre-season or our season starts.
Sure.
And it's been very difficult to go to any of the matches.
What about this summer?
I will try.
Sneak a day, can't you?
I'll try to, definitely, at least an afternoon, I'll try.
Yeah. So, we've said 2-1 Australia and the Lions. Ashes, 5 tests.
I'd like
this is painful, isn't it? This is painful.
I'd like to think it's 2-1.
2-1?
Yeah.
To England?
Yeah, it's going to be maybe a 2-1 to England. Hopefully it's not too bad.
With 2 draws?
Yeah, there might be, A bit of rain. It'll rain in England. There'll be rain.
Yeah.
There'll definitely be rain.
You're a big lad. You look as if you could have been a useful bowler, perhaps?
I played 1 full season of cricket. I finally nagged my dad enough to let me play 1 season of cricket, and I was a bit of an all-rounder. I did a bit of medium pace bowling, medium fast bowling and batting. And if I didn't bowl, I would generally, some games I actually play as wicket keeper as well. So it really depends.
Big lad for wicket keeper.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Long way to go down.
Yeah, it was fine. No, it wasn't. The goalkeeping helped with it as well.
Without being rude, if you're a batsman, you what, sort of 6, 7, 8, used to smash it?
I generally would come in about 6, yeah.
And have a bit of a smash, yeah?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
Yeah, how did I know that?
Yeah, exactly.
Favourite cricketers?
I was a big fan of Gilchrist, Matthew Hayden, Glenn McGrath. I remember watching it as a kid as well. I loved watching Alan Border, Rodney Marsh, Dennis Lilly. I loved watching those. I mean, even though those times the West Indies were just formidable, and they were. I remember watching games where thinking you could see the fear in the Aussie batsman's face when you had Joel Garner or Malcolm Marshall like steaming up the pitch to bowl at them, and I can fully understand why they were absolutely concerned about their well-being with the guys of those likes bowling at them.
Well, they dominated the 70s, and then you guys dominated much of certainly the late 80s and pretty much all of the 90s.
That's right. I mean, I think it was a different sort of dominance, wasn't it? It was more, I suppose, it was more of a controlled dominance. I think in the sense of the way they bowled and the way
it wasn't
they
a violent dominance.
Yeah, there wasn't. There wasn't that sort of and balls in and around your throat and really the fear factor that the West Indies created. Viv Anderson's Clive Lloyd, if you even had a chance to try and get a number of runs on the board, it wasn't never enough because you had the likes of Viv Richards and Clive Lloyd to come in and just obliterate the score.
So if Fulham signed me pre-season, which is unlikely, but you never know, I live in hope.
Okay.
If the Lions lose to Australia,
yes,
will you be unbearable? And if England win the Ashes, will you be fairly quiet and move on?
Fortunately enough, we've got enough foreigners in our club now that not many of them are that bothered about. Well, none of the foreigners are bothered about the cricket, and there's not a lot of Englishmen so bothered about the cricket at the club. So I can generally get away with it. At Middlesbrough was a bit different. There's quite a lot of people in the peripheral who were mad cricket fans and gave me a lot of stick. So I'm sure I'll get a lot of text messages.
Okay, well we'll find out whether you're right.
Yes.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.